Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far, and as Stage 5 is rapidly approaching, Scump has certainly had a few words to say on exactly why OpTic's won't be streaming for the rest of the season, some of the hate he's received that he doesn't think is deserved, but also the mistakes that OpTic have been making that is costing them getting over the line in some of these major tournaments. Tweeting your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you were new as always, I greatly appreciate it. Already outside the channel, thank you very much indeed for joining. Now first of all, this Modern Warfare seems like Yemen and Plaza indeed are going to be returning to Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War from all the way back in Black Ops 2 now. Pretty incredible to think about, to be honest, as Tom Henderson says right here. Looks like Slums is going to be back again. I mean, they always bring Slums back. Yemen and Plaza are the latest maps rumoured to be coming back. If 2 more maps are remastered from Black Ops 2, which they are, then that's 50% of the launch maps in Black Ops 2 that ended up getting remastered for this game, which is, from some perspective, pretty cool. I don't know if we're going to see this in Vanguard, right, because the maps make a Call of Duty title, and having some of these old OG maps in Black Ops 2 come back, I think has been a great, well, a godsend, to be honest, for the professional scene. Whether that happens in Vanguard, World War II Vanguard this year, like rumour we're going to get London Docks back, maybe they'll continue to do so, which wouldn't be a bad thing by any means, but the maps make a title, and that's certainly something I think we've been blessed with, to be honest, here so far in Black Ops Cold War. Speaking of Cold War, though, this I think is somewhat concerning for next year's title, because yesterday we talked about, okay, Warzone is taking the majority of Activision's focus right now. Black Ops Cold War, apparently, according to Tom Henderson, will likely be the most supported Call of Duty title ever after its cycle has ended, as its post-launch revenue is exceeding expectations. So on one side, you've got Activision focusing on the Warzone side of things, and then of course even in the Call of Duty games, you've got potentially Black Ops Cold War taking some focus away from Vanguard because its revenue is exceeding expectations or whatever. So a couple of signs that maybe aren't so great for World War II Vanguard right now, which obviously is a bit of a concern. I think a lot of people are concerned about this title because a lot of people are struggling to keep up, but well, at least keep the enjoyment that they used to have for playing Call of Duty several years ago, and maybe that kind of rests on Vanguard. But every single year I feel like we talk about games that are going to save Call of Duty, and well, it always keeps trucking along, and I'm sure the competitive scene will find a way no matter what. This I thought was kind of interesting though. Insight and CleanX tweeting out right here, hashtag free my brother Bance. Not 100% sure what this refers to. He does come out and say, okay, he actually is finally free now. Whether this was talking about some sort of quarantine situation, it's somewhat unclear, because I know like Methods, when he came back from like Texas or whatever, like he was having some issues with that, so maybe that was a problem. I guess these guys have still been scrimming, but maybe not in the facility, because I'm pretty sure they usually play from their Toronto facility or next to each other, like they would for the matches, so maybe that's affected the quality of their practice to some degree. All speculation, of course, but of course, well, they're in a massive blockbuster group over there at that B side of things, and they have some important games right if they want to lock up that number 2 seed for the World Championships, which is going to give them that double bye, I'm pretty sure, in the top side of their bracket, with FaZe, of course, being the number 1 seed already as it stands at the present time. Speaking of Toronto and Inside, especially breaking records and cashing checks, Toronto say nominate Inside for Controller Rookie of the Year in partnership with Scump. So always, well, generally the Rookie of the Year tends to go to a Call of Duty player. It happened to Kenny a couple of years ago. You guys might remember back in the World War II days. And I think generally the panel that decides things they definitely have a fair bit of Call of Duty representation. So usually the COD players do relatively well. But yeah, if you guys want to nominate, I guess I'll leave this tweet link down below if you guys would like to check it out. This is also from Drazah. I love checkmate attempts. Maybe not too convinced about that. I guess maybe they're scrim at the Paris Legion or something. We don't really know what the results have been looking like as of late for Los Angeles Thieves, at least in the scrims, right? But aBeZy was saying maybe they haven't been looking too hot when FaZe played against them. But to be fair, FaZe can make a lot of teams not look particularly good. But Drazah are pretty convinced that, well, he's in love with checkmate right now. And Los Angeles Thieves are pretty solid on that map earlier on this season, actually. Now Drazah's going to be on the SMG, though, so slightly different situation for sure. Let's talk about Scump then, right? So far this season, he's actually been playing particularly well in Search and Destroy. I think he's, well, one of the best Search and Destroy players in the game so far this season. There's no doubt about that. This is a top 5. I did the voiceover for. Pretty beautiful stuff over on the Breaking Point YouTube channel if you guys would like to check it out. Top 5 Scump plays of the season so far. Just wonderful stuff. A lot of these are in Search and Destroy, right? Clutching 1 versus 2s, making great plays like crazy aces. And I think, honestly, he's been playing particularly good Call of Duty. The problem is right now, the competition in this league is absolutely ridiculous. Some of the top teams are insane. And a lot of the top teams just don't make mistakes, right? You look at Toronto, you look at FaZe, for example. These guys are barely ever making errors in games. And the kind of level of Call of Duty that you've seen at times from FaZe and Toronto, and when they matched up at the Stage 2 Grand Finals especially, that was a level of Call of Duty that is pretty unprecedented, to be honest. So Scump, of course, was talking last night. I mean, he said this a while ago, right, when they fell out of the Stage 4 Major, the frustrations of him, like, been sad for months, want to win so badly. He goes on to clarify this in the video, saying, like, he's not sad in his life in general, just, obviously losses make him, upset, right? No doubt about it. Also going on to talk in quite some detail about exactly why they aren't streaming scrims anymore for the rest of the season, because, like, if they start streaming again at this point, all they're giving is potential advantages to other teams that are, and most of the time I think nowadays the players are streaming like, or they're playing best of 11 matches, which includes some search and destroy, so it gets kind of awkward to stream it, and you know, anything you possibly do is giving away some information, and he's kind of struggled to figure out how he balances playing and personal time and streaming and all this type of stuff that he's managed for years, which is incredible to think about what Scump has achieved, not only in Call of Duty but also outside of it as well on the streaming side. And of course that's something he could focus on more, right, if he wants to step away from Call of Duty, as he's kind of talked about possibly doing if Vanguard isn't really the Call of Duty game that he wants to play. He also dives in quite some detail here about how frustrating the losses have been, that have all been pretty much stacking up in a very same way. Every single major they lose in very similar manner with the very same mistakes, and that's obviously been frustrating. And he's also pretty frustrated about the fact that he's been receiving a fair bit of hate for his individual gameplay, whereas actually he's been playing pretty good Call of Duty this year.
But yeah, so just a little update. I mean, I do want to stream a lot more, and I've been talking about it, but me and Troy were just talking whatever, and I was like, do we actually have like any time to stream? Like, because like with our schedule, we scrim at either 1 or 3:30, and then some days we have content before scrims. So it's like really the only time to stream is either before scrims from like 11 to 1 or 10 to 1, but then I sacrifice sleep, or do I stream after scrims and then I'm sacrificing personal time with myself is, I know I've said it, but we're not streaming scrims for the rest of the year probably. So just putting that out there. We haven't really updated you guys since the last stream, but we're not streaming scrims for the rest of the year. I mean, at this point, we're at the point in the year where if we do continue to stream scrims, we're in crunch time now. So giving teams extra VOD at the very end of the year just isn't really smart or worth it. Most people don't focus on Twitter. I mean, yeah, people really don't roast me on Twitter for not streaming. I mean, people mostly say, people mostly encourage me. They're like, we get it. We understand. We don't have a problem with you taking a break. We get it. It's not really hate about not streaming. It's more of, we miss you. Hope you come back soon. It's stuff like that. I get most hate for like gameplay, which is what pisses me off because I've been playing great and I still get hate. It's like, y'all, man. Like, I'm not even playing bad and I'm getting hate. I'm playing good. That was probably my best stage of the year. Still getting on. Like, damn. What could I do, bro? My tweet was a little misleading, but it's really hard to word it correctly, whenever you're talking about something as serious as that. It was more of the fact that all of the time, so I'll break it down as simply as I can. All the time that we put in every day, scrimming, playing off stream, whatever it may be, and then we go to a tournament and we fall short, and we keep falling short the same exact way over and over and over again. Like, it feels like every single loss we've had at a major this year has been the exact same. And that is what is mentally draining. It's like, we put all this time in, we're not streaming, so there's no validation to the work that we're putting in. People only see the result because we do work hard, and we keep losing and we keep shooting ourselves in the foot. And it's like, dude, it's literally the same mistakes over and over and over. And it's like, how do you even fix it at that point, Because like we practice well. Our practice has been great for the past, like, I would say 2 stages has been pretty much perfect, apart from a couple little like hiccups throughout stage 3. But stage 4, like, we were on the ball the whole time, And like I said, I'm not sad all the time. Like, I don't wake up and I'm sad, or, it's not like that. I get sad after we lose, especially at majors.
So OpTic's certainly do not have the easiest pool in the world. The bottom 2 teams should be beatable, no doubt about it, especially if OpTic been looking pretty good in scrims as of late, because as Scump saying, like, pretty much their practice since stage 3 has been very good indeed. They haven't really been able to transfer that to matches, and that is one of the issues really with this current format for a team like OpTic, as OpTic is such a momentum-based team. We saw that when they were in the losers bracket of whatever it was, the stage 3 major maybe, where they made a pretty crazy run. Now, of course, that hasn't been the case at stage 4 major, because you basically play 1 game a day, so it's tough to keep momentum. Back in the day, like, you would have these crazy long days of games where OpTic would often start a tournament very slow, right? They come out on Friday in the group play, they wouldn't look so good. But after that, they'd really kick on, and when they got to the bracket play, then they'd kind of run through the rest of the tournament and, win match after match after match. That's how it used to be back in the day. OpTic don't really have the luxury anymore of building that momentum up, because you basically play 1 game a day. You've just got to turn up when it matters, which isn't so easy for some teams that are super momentum based. OpTic right here, they're in a group with Legion. That should be winnable on the day 1 on the Thursday, just a couple of days time. They play New York on Sunday, obviously a massive match for them, and well, we'll go through the rest of it as well. So OpTic with the week after that, they only play one game. That's against FaZe though on Sunday, July the 18th, and then the week after that, they finish off the group in very important fashion against the Ravens on the Thursday, and then against Los Angeles Thieves. So in theory, they should, I guess, lose to FaZe. Then against New York, I think that's honestly kind of a coin flip right now. We don't really know how good New York are going to look here. They play Thieves earlier on in the weekend as well, so definitely some exciting series. But if OpTic can get a victory here, that'd be massive for them most certainly, because then it means that the series, at least it means that then that their winners bracket qualification for the Stage 5 major doesn't just come down to this matchup against the Thieves on Saturday, which a lot of people might say could at the present time, right? You're looking at Thieves, you're thinking, okay, they could be 2-2 going into this game. Looking at OpTic, thinking they could be 2-2 as well. So definitely some big matches coming up for OpTic. They don't have the easiest group by any means, but at the same time, it's not an absolute gauntlet, right? Like against London, against Paris, two teams that are out of champs qualification pretty much at this point. They maybe they haven't been practicing so hard. It's probably pretty hard to keep motivation right now if you're Paris or if you're London or if you're Seattle or Los Angeles Gorillas. Like, what do you do, right, if you're those teams? You're getting on for practice every day, knowing that pretty much all you're playing for is some reputation benefits at the Stage 5 major, and this may be where you start to see players on those teams, like, not necessarily play for the win so much, right, because those teams are already not expected, and they're not going to make the champs unless, like, they go crazy this major, and Florida lose, like, every single, well, if they, like, win, like, every single match, and Florida lose every single match, then I'm pretty sure those teams can still qualify in top 8, but, it's basically not going to happen, and therefore, you may see some of these players start to play for kills a little bit more. We've certainly talked about the possibility of players playing for stats and playing to look good on the scoreboard, and we saw that kind of towards the end of last season as well. A lot of players were discussing it, and whether that happens again this time around is still does remain to be seen, right? Because there's very much a world in which maybe you're a guy like on Paris Asian, or you're a guy on maybe some of these other teams, you're looking for some opportunities maybe on some better squads next season, or at least to keep your spot in the league, right? If you're, you know, on Paris or something, you actually want to, you know, maintain that spot, right? Whatever happens, maybe like they want to build a different team but want to keep one player, that might be a good opportunity to actually, post some good statistics so teams actually want to move down that direction, right? But something to consider, I guess, when we watch this stage. No guarantee that'll be the case, but OpTic certainly, not the hardest run in the world, but they're going to have to work hard once again to solidify their spot in the winners bracket. And just to finish off with this clip from Scump, I thought was pretty hilarious. It comes like this. I'm pretty sure Kevy Skills edits these together, and well, he gets absolutely bodied by this guy 4 times in this league play game, where he gets assassinated again and again and again from behind. This guy, well, no remorse to Scump, and well, gets completely bodied again and again inside his actual own plane here on Checkmate. Pretty entertaining to see. And tweeting your thoughts on all this in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. Really upside that you should welcome you enjoyed this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well, and have grown the competitive quality community. Thank you much as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.
He waited for my teammate to go by and got me. All right, sweet. Like, this guy is strictly going for assassinations on me, bro. What is this? If he gets me again this game, I'm going to be salty. This guy is solely going for assassinations. I got to check every corner. I hate people use that spot.
Just like that, we're back to business.
Oh my gosh! Dude, he's only assassinating me. This is ridiculous. Oh my god!